And good morning, Mr. McKenna.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is it Mrs. Malin? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Mrs. Malin. All right. Good morning. Sean McKenna, of course, the Superintendent of Schools here in Griswold, and our Board of Education chairperson or chair one. I never know what to say because because Tracy Hansen is the selectman in first selectman in Voluntown, and I asked her that. I said, "Do we call you selectwoman?" She goes, "No, just selectman." So I said, "Okay." So anyway, Mary-Beth Malin, our Board of Education chair here in Griswold. So thanks for joining me, both of you, this morning.
No problem.
I want to first question I want to ask, and actually, Mary-Beth, I'd like to pose this one to you. Is you did a special meeting the other night,
Yes.
which was available online. Now, obviously, that's in regards to everything started because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Is this something that you see that's going to go forward with other meetings as well, even after the fact, once we get over the curve?
Once we can resume normal board meetings, we will be back to our normal place twice a month, the second and fourth Monday of the month, back in the Library and Media Center. It's possible down the road we can, as a board, take a look at possibly streaming our meetings, but right now, until we get past this and school resumes and we can get back to some normalcy, this is how we'll be operating for now. And then hopefully getting back to being back together again, because it's good to, that we're all together on a teleconference, but it's also much better when we're all together at the table working in unison.
I think that makes a lot of sense. That's true. And it's nice that we, all have this type of technology right now to utilize, so that way everybody can continue to move forward at
Absolutely.
some pace. What about you, Sean? How do you feel about the video conferencing, and what kind of dynamic that it adds or maybe even takes away?
Well, it helps definitely for purposes of this interview, and when we have to get business done, either as an administrative team or with the board, and the teachers have been doing it. But the downside is you miss seeing people, and you miss the immediacy of being around a table, looking at a topic, discussing a topic. There's awkwardness with this because you have to wait for someone else to jump in, whereas at a meeting with people present, you can read body language, you can sort of see people and how they want to respond to things. So this definitely fulfills a purpose, and I'm grateful that we have it. And I do foresee us, Mary-Beth said, doing it for some time, but it's nice to be at the table working on things.
So let's get back into, let's talk about the special meeting a couple of nights ago. And Sean, you were talking about 10-month employees and
10-month hourly. Yep.
Okay. Can you discuss what went on in the meeting, and maybe Mary-Beth, you can obviously join in, or poke in anytime you want, to how that conversation went.
So what we're trying to do is we have work plans for all of our employees, but the 10-month hourly employees, it's just a topic that's come up with a number of groups in the past, since this came on. The teachers have been working, the administrators have been working, everybody's been working. Our grounds crew, they're getting to projects if you drive by the campus, but there's some groups. It's okay, well, we want to make sure we're obviously they're working, they're helping students, helping administrators, but we need to create a work plan, and we need to take this carefully to have the best interests of everybody in mind, including the taxpayers. So Mary-Beth is part of different groups. I'm part of different groups, superintendent groups, and we never do anything in a vacuum, right? So we consult with local districts, the state, and so we just thought it would be our attorney, the CABE attorney, we just thought it would be beneficial to revisit this topic every couple of weeks, because some places have just flat out laid everybody off. And we have not done that for an assortment of reasons. One, there is a lot of work that's going on as we speak, whether it's virtually or, staggered shifts with people in buildings. And number two, it would, as if you read Governor Lamont's executive order that came out last night, which is very interesting, he's ordering school districts, we're getting an interpretation from our attorney, to in fact pay the 10-month employees now. So I appreciate the board's willingness and deliberateness in sort of revisiting this topic every couple of weeks.
Mary-Beth, could you comment?
Pretty much backing everything that Sean said is, Sean and I are in communication all day long and into the evening. And being chair, I am part of the CABE listserv, where chairs put out a question and everybody weighs in and responds as to what their district's doing. Then every Friday at 2 o'clock, I have mandatory teleconferences with CABE and all the chairs who are logging in to go through the week, the struggles we've had, what are other districts doing. That 10-month position, that was so all over the board. It took me hours to compile the list of what all the other chairs were doing. Some were laying off, some weren't. And we don't want to add any more stress during this time than what the stress is. So we don't want to add any more hardship to anybody, but we had to consult with our attorney, who we never make a move with something big like this without our attorney and CABE's attorney weighing in on us. So right now, everybody is working, and that's what we wanted. Everybody working, contributing in some capacity, to the district, to teachers, to helping them with the students, especially our paras who work very closely one-on-one with many students. We want to make sure that they're there to reach out to these students, because all of a sudden they were told on Thursday, we'll see you Monday, and they've never been back to school for 3 weeks. Right. So some students, this is their lifeline. So we want to make sure that that is out there for the students, and we're looking after the best interest of the students totally here.
Now, speaking of the students themselves, this is not just for you folks and the teachers in the classrooms, but the students they're going kind of bonkers right now because they want to be back in school. I think some of them really appreciate the time that they have in school, even though they don't realize it until something like this happens. But what do we say, or what is the best way? Like Mary-Beth, what is it that you communicate down, to the to your teachers and your superintendent about how to communicate with students that just don't understand fully of what's going on right now?
We always start out by we're all in this together, and there isn't one superintendent in this state or even across the country that has ever been through anything like this. And we're telling them we are navigating these murky waters, and as soon as we figure we're over one hurdle, we round the corner, as I say to Sean, and we have 5 more hurdles to get over. We just tell them to please reach out. Please, if you need help, to email into the schools and someone will get back to you. Email the teachers. I am not a big person on the social media aspect, because I do believe it's got some valid points and other things. It takes on a life of its own. But I have seen very positive things on Facebook with us going to the e-learning this past week, and now they can see their teachers. They can talk to their teachers. So the parents feel and the students feel it's given them a lot of discipline and guidance and structure that started on Monday. But we are here, and we've always said, you need a Chromebook, email the technology person. You need help in something, email your teacher or leave a message at the school. And the secretaries are very good and diligent about picking up messages and getting back to people.
Sean, did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, so we, just to echo what Mary-Beth said, and I have to do a huge shout out, and I have someone sitting in the background here, particularly our food services director who's here in the background, Tom O'Connor and his team. I just want to take this opportunity, because it is being filmed, to thank every employee for being adaptable and flexible. And, we do have a daily, I know, Mike, you're not a parent anymore, but I send out a daily school.
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, it isn't? Oh, I apologize.
I have a
Yeah,
13.
so I don't know if you get my daily updates. We're trying to keep people informed, about the grab and go meals, and we're trying to encourage people to communicate. And phones do work. Our phones are working. So we have, we want people to feel to reach out to us. And if there's a problem, let us know, because we are all in this together. We'll work on it. It's not easy. I have 3 kids of my own. Amy's a teacher, and we're all doing the best we can, but we have to be adaptable, flexible, and understanding. That's why every Friday, Todd and I, First Selectman Babbitt, we put out a communication. We feel as though, we're in this together and we're going to get through it. But there are bumps, and my kids are going crazy. My wife has schedules for them to do housework, do schoolwork. I mean, it's not easy, and we understand that. When parents, you have 5 people on devices all day long, that creates other problems, right? So,
True.
But I do have to take this opportunity to a huge thanks to all of our employees, every single one of them, for being adaptable and flexible, from our food service employees to our custodians are doing a bang up job, secretaries, teachers, administrators, and God forgive me if I forgot somebody. And obviously our Board of Ed for really believing in us to get through this.
It's really it's nice to see how everybody has come together as a unit, during this time. I mean, I've seen it just kind of watching it from afar, and it's been really productive. You're taking what exactly you have available to you and making it work. One shout out that I would like to give to is to Mrs. Erin Polonen for doing her morning announcements via YouTube and sending them out and staying engaged and staying in touch with her students. So that is something that we get to enjoy. And sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're serious, but they're always full of great content and positivity. So, and I think that's a great message that the teachers as well as the board is sending out to the kids, which is really important. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I always thank this one person, right? I always thank everybody at the end of our board meetings, even when we were in the library, but now I'm purposely thanking everybody when we have special meetings. But one person who has done an incredible job and navigated this district through one heck of a turmoil is our superintendent. We couldn't have done what we've done and navigated as well as we have without him and his knowledge and continuously hardworking and engaging with other superintendents. He's on conference calls with the governor. He's on conference calls with other superintendents in a group. So I feel that we are extremely fortunate in the town of Griswold to have Sean McKenna as our superintendent and the extraordinary job he has done with all this.
Yeah, I'll definitely. And Sean, I've said to you just in private that I'm very, very thankful that you are here in Griswold personally. So.
Oh, thank you. That's very
So now I let you know what, now that I have a 13-year-old, she's not in this. She's not in this school. She's not in this school district. She's actually on the other side of Hartford.
Okay.
But a lot of the same things that Griswold is doing, they're doing as well in her middle school. One of the obstacles that I've seen, maybe, and hopefully you guys can speak on this, is it's not just the kids they're trying to adjust, it's the teachers, it's the educators themselves. They've had to totally change how they do things and try to reach in a different way via e-learning. And I'm talking way too much, and I'm going to ask this real quick and I'll stop talking. What can you tell people as far as how the teachers are adjusting, as well as the students? Maybe Mary-Beth, you could take the subject of the teachers, and Sean, you could take the subject of the students.
So I think for the student, oh, go ahead, Mary-Beth. Sorry.
No, you go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think for the students, I think this is for everybody. It's new, and it's a new norm, and we're all doing, honestly, the best that we can with what we have. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be things that are glitchy. that, things are going to short out. You're not going to, your computer's going to freeze up. I'm talking about things that are happening to me, and I know they're happening to all of our kids, including, my own children. And I hate to use this common phrase. It is what it is. The last thing we need is everybody sort of saying, oh, you should do this and you should do that and you should do this. And I try not to do that with the team here. Like if people have different ideas, I start every meeting with the administrative team with these two words: adaptability and flexibility, because what we know today could radically change by something tomorrow. So for the kids, it's just being in that mindset that, okay, it's not perfect. It's going to be glitchy. We'll get through this. And tomorrow it might be something completely different.
As far as the teachers, I think it's pretty much the same. It's adaptability. I've seen and heard from some of them where they've reached out to their kids. They were so excited to make contact with them. They truly miss the kids. I saw one student who logged into her chorus at Griswold High School, was so excited to see Mr. Churchill, so excited to see the rest of her friends in chorus. So it's all about adaptability. Whatever platform you're using, if you're using Zoom or Google, we're just letting them work with it and work through it. And everybody is doing the best they can during these circumstances, and that's all we can ask for right now.
Yeah, and that's perfect. And like, for example, my daughter, the challenge that she had, we got an email from one of her teachers, that listed all of the work that she didn't do. And, so I went to Rihanna and I said, and one of them that stuck out in my head was the Sudan study part 3. It was a worksheet she had to do. And she said, but Dad, I did it. And I said, okay, well then copy the email, to your teacher and, go ahead. I don't want to do that. She was nervous that she thought she was going to get into trouble. And I tried to explain to her, I said, honey, it's new. It's new for you. It's new for them too. Well, anyway, I went ahead and I reached out to the teacher. The teacher said, yes, I did get it. And I haven't updated Google Classroom yet. So she felt a lot better. And now she understands too, so maybe that'll help somebody by that little story that it's all from what you guys said as well, as far as it being new, for everybody involved. So let's skip ahead and, to something that maybe, and I don't even know if it's something that you can speak on yet or even have enough information on. But we know obviously that the trip to Canada the music trip was canceled. There were, a lot of upset people. I'm sure you guys were upset as well, just because it's something that happens every single year. Can we speak to, say, Mr. Churchill's play? Is there any news on that, if that's going to continue?
So I'm gonna take both hits for the team, and certainly Mary-Beth can jump in. Mike, the Canada trip was something that we were doing. I know our very best. I come from a working class background. I did not get on a plane until I was 21. So I get the people in Griswold when you're saving for a trip and we're putting this together, and Ray and Amanda, and they do a great job, and we were working together, and we had Patrick McCormick from the Uncas Health District, and we had a letter that went out I think Friday before the week we canceled it, and everything was good to go. And that weekend, and some parents went on, I get it, they went online and they said, oh, McKenna, he blamed Lamont. But things started seizing that weekend, right? Like we knew that the colleges weren't coming back. We knew that there were travel bans. We knew that things were really sort of paralyzing, so to speak. And after talking to a number of people, I think we had a Board of Ed meeting on that Monday night, and we had to go, Mary-Beth, Aaron and I had to go to present at Preston. And I just remember saying, oh my God, I'm gonna be here the next morning at like 6:30, canceling this trip. And sure enough, we did, but we did everything we could not to. And it was unfortunate that we did it. But I stand by the decision, because I think shortly thereafter, the borders closed. You know, we March 13th, we had to close down. Things were coming down very, very quickly. I do believe that, you know, Ray and the team are working very diligently to get some refunds that perhaps wouldn't have happened under other circumstances. And, you know, it breaks my heart that those kids are going to miss that trip. And let's face it, there are great things in Griswold, but one of the highlights of the season, it's the spring musical. I mean, you've got people that talk about this musical all over the state.
All year. Yeah.
All year. It's a community effort. And I believe after talking to Ray, they're going to try to, if school comes back, they're going to try to stage it in the summer. But I don't know if school's going to come back. You know, we're talking to the admin team this morning. The president has a social distancing policy in place for April 30th. The governor has basically closed schools until April 20th. Yesterday or Monday, I was on a call with the governor and then the commissioner of education, along with other people. Now they're saying they're not going to decide whether or not we're going back until April 10th. I hope they decide earlier. It's all very fluid, very dynamic, and our goal is to get the information out to people once we have it. I hope the play can be staged. It's certainly a highlight of the year, but I don't know if it's going to happen. And I please don't misinterpret what I'm saying, because I know if you talk to Ray, there are all sorts of things with copyrights, and he doesn't want to put out a bunch of money that they've earned only to lose it. So it's a tricky thing that we have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, very true. Graduation. I know that may be a little far. And I guess that's why I preface the question as saying maybe it's not something you can speak to or even have enough, you know, data or information yet to even.
So graduation as of now is the Board of Ed set the date for June 17th. It's planned as scheduled, but we are in unknown waters. I don't know. My hope is let's one day at a time.
Gotcha. Mary-Beth, is there anything? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, what else we can do is just take one day at a time. You know, I'd like to get the kids back even by June 1st.
Yeah.
So they can say goodbye to their teachers, have some closure from the year, see their friends, and have summer vacation and have fun, and graduate these students. But it's just so much is unknown right now. So much.
Now, I know you guys are both busy, you know, both in, you know, your work lives and your educational lives. Is there anything else before we end this that Mary-Beth you want to add before we end this interview this morning? Something
no,
that I didn't cover, maybe that you want to go ahead and get out there?
No, the only thing I could say regarding the Canada trip, and I don't even have concrete information on that. I am the co-chair of the parents organization for that group. There will be some sort of a refund going back. How much? We have no clue yet.
Yeah.
Because they're still working on it. It's, you know, we weren't the only group that had to cancel from this travel company we use here in Connecticut. So they are just inundated. And of course, we're dealing with Canada. You know, we have the conversion rate of money. At some point, there will be a refund. I'm not sure what it's going to be, or, you know, how much and when it will go out, because I have not seen a check come in from them yet for any refund. So, you know, it's an unfortunate situation, but I stand by what the superintendent of schools did 1,000% in canceling this trip.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, anything else you want to add on to that?
Well, the Canada trip, these decisions don't give us pleasure, but you have to do what you do. But if people ask me, you know, what right now you got to worry about being safe. You know, if the stuff that we're hearing time and time again, people need to take seriously. The social distancing, take it seriously. Washing your hands. I have two cousins that are nurses. They say 20 to 40 seconds doing that. You know, if you go out in public, limit the time you're out in public, even to the grocery store. Have hand sanitizer in your car. You know, this is nothing to joke with. This is very, very, very serious. And having gone to school and lived in New York City, that place is, my heart aches. It's a mess right now. It's very important, if you sneeze or cough, do it into your shirt, with your arm bending. Keep your hands clean. If you go outside, and you're around people, you may want to have, what I do is, my cousins advise me, is I have shoes that I wear inside and shoes that I wear out in the public. So I think that those sort of measures are necessary. They're not recommended. We've got to do them all together as a community, as a state, and as a nation.
Very good. Thank you both for joining me, Mary-Beth, especially on such short notice. I think you got like 20-minute lead time.
Yes. That's okay. I'm working at home today.
Okay. And just from myself, thank you, for doing this, and thank you for leading the community and making some very uncomfortable decisions that had to be very tough on both of you when it comes to academics and
Mike, thank you for getting all the news out there and keeping people informed. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it greatly, Mike. Thanks so much for everything, and contact us again if you'd like another teleconference with us.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I will definitely, and I'll let you know when this goes up online. So have a great day and stay safe, both of you.
You too, Mike. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.